Okay, Cal.
We got video. We got this here audio going. All right, it's time. Enjoy, everybody. Good to be back with you, and it begins in 3, 2, 1.
I've been told that my resting smell is a combination of talc, icy hot, and carnival hot dog water. Previously, this unique scent was only available to those who accidentally brushed up against me on the subway.
Situation number 3. Stop tape for discussion.
Mountain grown for richer flavor. This is the Morning Stream.
Good morning, and welcome back to TMS. It's the Morning Stream for Tuesday, September 6, 2022. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian Ibbett.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Ahoy.
7 days. 7 days later, and the show exists again. Boom.
I know. More than 7 days, because really, it was a Thursday, so we missed
true.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And then, like 11 days. 11 days. It's without these people. And hearing your voice, Scott.
I don't think
this
this
in my
is
head all the day.
I know we never leave each other's heads, but this is I think first time this amount of time has passed. I don't think we've ever gone 11 days. That's never happened.
I wonder if this time last year when I was in Ireland, I think we probably missed 11 days.
Oh, that's true. We were both there, yeah. But like dead air, neither of us. It's got 11 days.
Oh, that's true, right? Because I think you did shows while I was in Ireland. In Ireland.
Yeah, I kept the flames.
A year ago,
on
I was
fire.
hanging out with Claire. We were eating some boxty, some bangers and rashers, and
some kind of weird potato business.
Right, exactly.
Because you're in Ireland, that's what you do.
That's all they have. Anyway,
I got back from a whirlwind trip to Alaska and beyond. Spent some time in Canada and some international waters business. I didn't know the ship had a casino. I guess they all do, right? That's the thing?
They all do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
In fact, I didn't really know until like day 3. I was just wandering.
Oh, really?
And I was like, oh, shit, there's a whole like mini Vegas down here.
There is. It's really, yeah. And it's, I don't know how finely tuned their machines are. I don't know if the Federal Gaming Commission gets to pop on there and make sure that things are all set at 98% payout. But
oh yeah, good question. It wasn't ever full, and they were real big on teaching people how to play. Like, come play blackjack and learn from the best.
I'm sure craps. Yeah, I'm sure. Like that's probably me in another life is a cruise ship craps instructor.
Oh man. Did your retirement's cut out for you? You're all set.
No kidding. I could totally do that.
Yeah, you absolutely could do that.
Podcasts from there. Perfect.
You know more about how to do it than I do. But anyway, I went on this trip. It was on the Discovery Princess, or the Princess Discovery was the name of the damn ship. 3,500 people. Went to Alaska, a bunch of places in there, and I had a bunch of stories come from this event. And I got to thinking it's going to take too much airtime to try to explain all these stories, or too many days of spreading it out. So what I decided to do was bring you a semi sort of checklist version of what went
like
down.
the film sec checklist.
A little bit.
Okay, all right.
We'll see how this goes. I don't actually know how this is going to go, but we're going to give it a shot. I brought some theme music for it. Here you go.
I mean, I honestly.
Because listen to that.
I don't think our the folks listening to this show would be like, oh, I hope they don't tell us a whole bunch of stories about the cruise where weird things happened. I hope he boils it down to little sound bites.
Yeah, they did.
That's
I think they do want to know how things went. Listen
For sure, I want to know. Just
this
like
is an amazing instrumental.
National
version.
Enquirer.
That's right. Listen to this.
Exciting and
new. All right. That's not just for fluff. I also watched about 20 episodes of The Love Boat on the boat, because on every Princess cruise, they have a closed circuit TV sort of system where they do some live stuff via satellite, but mostly it's on-demand content.
Sure.
And they have a whole TV series section, and at the top of the TV series section, up front and center, are old episodes of The Love Boat. And it's not all of them. It's kind of a mishmash of a bunch of episodes kind of scooched in all together. But there's a ton of them. And for whatever reason, at night when we were back in the cabin, Kim and I would fire up The Love Boat and watch The Love Boat.
There is something to that about the watching the TV show about a cruise ship when you're on that cruise ship. I wonder if the Motel 6 in Albuquerque has an all-you-can-watch Breaking Bad channel.
Oh, that'd be oh my gosh, can you imagine? That'd be incredible. I would sit there all day and watch that.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. We're on this boat, right?
Yeah.
And where we got that thing going. And I decided to make notes throughout the days. Like, a weird thing happened. I'll pull up my phone, boop, 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 put in what I saw, save it for later. And you're right, you do have to, or you're going to forget this stuff.
You're going to forget, yeah.
So here I present you with a list of things that happened to me on the ship in as short order as possible. All right?
Question.
Yeah.
Me in the front. If at any time during this checklist I want to know more, are you prepared to tell us more?
Prepared to tell you anything you want to hear.
Okay, good. All right, good.
And in a couple of cases,
elaborate?
in a couple of cases, I will give brief introductions and then very short stories. I will try to keep this interesting. This is not a travel log. I freaking hate those. I'm going to give you guys the real highlights of the
Monday
weirdness.
morning, 8 a.m. Went down to the breakfast buffet, had
Actually,
two sausages. And
you're not too far from the truth on
dry
all that.
eggs.
There's some real truth to that. All right. So before I get to any of it, just an overall, had a great time. Kim and I had a blast, relaxed. Mostly the big takeaway is I chilled a lot, sat on deck chairs. It was fall weather the whole time, so like 55 to 60 degrees everywhere. It was never hot. Beautiful, freaking Viking-like vistas of rocky, weird beaches and ancient forests and just trippy shit all the way up and down that coast over there. And some open sea business where Kim got super seasick, but more on that later. Anyway, so that's the overall. All right?
I can't believe it was twice as many degrees where I was at than where you were at.
I know.
Twice as many degrees.
I know. I got home. It was 104 here. And I went, what? Wait, what? Where did we? I don't understand how it's that different. Like, even Seattle was only like 60 all day.
Yeah.
It's totally weird. Anyway.
Crazy. All right. Checklist.
So here's number one. The process of getting in there, total end times. Like, nightmarish. I didn't know about this part. The part of where you go from the airport, by the way, which we left for at 3 a.m. here, get to the airport. Flight's not till 7, but there's reasons why we had to do it at 3, or get up at 3. Anyway, we get there by 5, leaves by 7. Early morning travel, I freaking hate it, whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine. We get to Seattle, no problem. Get off on that Tacoma airport. Kind of tiny and rinky-dink, just saying. Maybe it's because we have a brand new huge one and you guys have a big one. We're a little picky out here in the West with our giant airports. All right, but that Tacoma, Seattle airport is kind of
SeaTac,
little tiny thing. Anyway, that's fine. We go to the ship, the dock there, go on a lift ride. Oh, I got a lift question for you.
Okay, all right.
So we have a lift guy. His name is Javier or some name like that.
Sure.
And we have 2 giant bags and two small bags. And the giant bags, everyone's got key. Okay, this is the other thing I noticed. Everybody driving Lyft, at least in Seattle, maybe the whole world, I don't know. Everybody except Brian, I guess. I swear they're all driving the Toyota Priuses, all Priuses, all the time.
Really? Oh, interesting. I wonder if that's there here in Denver. If you don't have your own car, they'll rent you a Kia Niro. And so you see a lot of Lyft drivers driving Kia Niros. And I wonder if they do a thing out there with Toyota Prius or something.
They might, because there was every time we'd call one or do one or need one, which wasn't that much, but when we did, it was always like a ton of Priuses. Just tons.
My Uncle Tony drives for Lyft in the Los Angeles area, and he drives a Toyota Prius.
Oh, my gosh. Your Uncle Tony is basically my Uncle Tony, who, by the way, lived in Denver until he died, so pretty funny.
Oh, wow. Weird.
Yeah, anyway. So that place, going to that dock and getting all situated to get on the boat, that's a cluster, dude. That's a freaking nightmare of people hurting. And I was like, if this is what the whole cruise is like, we have made a terrible error in our lives.
So many lines. It's like, okay, you're out of this line. We're going to split this line into 4 other lines. And now you're going to have another line to go through to check your passport.
It was so bad.
Yeah,
and it was like, every other person was in a rascal, and it's hard to get around. And I'm happy to report Kim and I are seriously in the youngest group on the ship. We are among the youngest people there. We felt like children compared to some of the 4,000-year-old people that were there. Anyway, so that's all out of the way. Yeah. Ladies singing in public at dinner, don't do that. Don't just pipe up. We're at one of the fancy dinners, and this lady all of a sudden one night just starts going,
like, passenger?
Oh, no. Yes, some passenger just starts singing right next to me. It's like, and her husband sat there going, like looking at her like maybe this is their thing.
Yeah.
Do your thing in the cabin. Don't do it in front of me. That's weird.
No, but she wants everyone to watch. That's their thing. She has a public. I'm turned on when I do it in public and people can watch. What did she sing? It wasn't even Happy Birthday. It was like
something foreign.
That's really, it's barely allowable for somebody to sing Happy Birthday if they're not surrounded by the TGI Fridays crew anyway.
Yeah. To
sing it solo, but any other song, what you're just.
I know.
You're
vamping. You're doing what I don't know what you're doing. And they sang. We didn't have them do it to us because I think it sucks to do this. But they sang Happy Anniversary to people. Here's how they'd sing it.
Yeah.
Whole group of them would sing Happy Versary to you. So that was great. Anyway,
Nice.
lady, don't do that. All right, guy with government tracking concerns while wearing a tracker. So if you're on Princess Cruise Lines, you get a medallion. The medallion is this little princess logo, just like the one Steubing had on his ship, same logo. Yeah. And you put it in a little watch or hang it around your neck, however you want to do it. It's just basically it's one of those Apple AirTags is kind of what it is.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But it tells, like, if you're going to order something or if you're in a room or you got to get off the ship, on the ship, whatever, you're constantly scanning these tags.
Like
when you
an
walk,
RFID.
Yes, it totally has that because as I walk toward my room, it doesn't even make me hold it up to it. It just knows you're coming and unlocks.
Oh, geez.
So it's kind of cool, and you can
kinda,
yeah,
little bit like, all right, I've got Johnson, I've got him pinned down. Just drag him over by his room. All right, it opened the door automatically for him.
Yeah, it didn't, it crossed my mind that these things are all true, but this is their thing. This is Princess's big thing.
That is really cool. Like, as little touching of things as possible.
Yeah, absolutely, and I like that. Anyway, so that thing's going and it's happening, but this guy was just completely unself-aware, sitting on the deck, day one, talking about how the government's tracking him, and he doesn't trust the government this and government that, and they're watching us now. They're probably drones trained on me right now as I'm saying all of this. Meanwhile, he's like stops in the middle of it, goes, "Oh, I'll have a Bloody Mary," and holds up his freaking tracker ring to the thing. Is like, dude, you're wearing a tracker. All right, so there's that guy.
Love it. Okay.
Edward, I want to call out this dude named Edward. He is the bomb. He was in charge of our row of cabins. Like, he was the guy that would just, get your rooms ready while you were gone or whatever.
Nice.
That dude, magic. Just he knew if we went to breakfast, he knew we were gone, and he would go and just do the most amazing job. We'd come back, it was done.
Not magic. Trackers.
No. Yeah.
Donny Thinks Trackers.
He was great. It may have been trackers, yeah.
He watches your little red dot leave the like he's watching his little heads-up display as he's cleaning room 1407, and he sees the little red dot. The Johnsons will leave it, and he goes over.
Yep. I would not be surprised actually if that's how that worked, because he was so efficient. He was so good.
At any point, did he take a T-shirt that you happened to leave on the bed and twist it into the shape of a swan?
No, that never happened. Darn it.
Oh.
Yeah. We did leave him a tip on the last day, though, even though they told us.
You have to. That's I try to remember to tip in hotels, but you never forget to tip everything on a cruise ship.
Well, on the ship,
they even remind you to.
So they won't let you. This particular cruise, they won't let you tip. You pay ahead of time on tips.
Oh, really?
And
that's cool.
Yeah. So what we did is. So if you offered somebody a couple of bucks, they'd have to turn it down, and they did. We tried a couple times. But at the very end, you can get away with tipping your room guy, which is what we did. So anyway, that worked out well. All right, so that was cool. Internet sucked. It's really bad.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I paid an extra $65.
Who knew? Out in the middle of the ocean.
Oh, it was so bad, though. I mean, like, I expected internet, like satellite speeds or something. No. Terrible.
It's like
closed.
dial-up speed is what it is.
If not even that, it was I did speed tests. It wouldn't even register half the time. It was so bad. So
speed test page comes up, big box with a little question mark in the middle of it.
Yeah, it was enough to get a text here and there, but that was about it. If you want to do videos or photos, you had to wait for a port, and then 5G was fine in Alaska on ports and stuff, so that was fine. Sure. Anyway, that really, really was bad, and the reason it's bad is if it was for free for everybody, fine.
Yeah.
It's extra $65 per person.
Yeah.
F off with that noise.
per person or per device?
Per device.
Did you get a
per device?
Per device.
Yeah.
Damn.
Right.
I guess you can do. All right, let's get it from my phone, and then I'll just do personal hotspot and share that out to my iPad or Kim's phone or whatever.
Which we tried and it never worked because the signal was so bad it wouldn't even do a hotspot. They're like, "There's no hotspot."
You're sharing a Xerox copy of bandwidth.
You're
basically.
not wrong. You're not wrong. So it was terrible. I won't say any good things about it. Pretty sure the captain didn't actually exist and everything's run by robots. Because we heard him on the thing. Again, this is your captain. Yeah. We're seeing something in the sky with the thing and the deal, and the whales will be off to the right and all that. And he was always boop, boop, saying things. And we had a lot of fog, so it was like all the time. This is your captain. Yeah. We'll be doing the fog and all that. So that was happening. But I never saw the guy. In fact, we even had dinner 2 nights in a row right where it's supposed to be the captain's table.
Uh-huh.
Never saw. Nope.
Never saw him. Wow.
Was there most of the night. Couple of those nights, never saw the captain. So I'm not
saw
sure
that photo on Twitter. That is a it's a high-tech looking captain's table. Like it does look like it's from the Enterprise.
It was really nice. The advantages of a brand new boat were clear everywhere. It was really nice.
Sure.
Super clean. I don't know if they're still doing this everywhere, but this particular Princess Lines makes you have to have vac status cards, booster status.
Yeah.
They have station sinks.
Probably on-demand testing or anything, or
no? I don't know if they had that. You had to test 3 days ahead of time, clean.
Sure.
We never had a breakout, or at least not one announced. They're supposed to announce it if you do, or an breakout, whatever.
Outbreak.
No one had zits. But that never happened. But they were also just like fastidiously clean, just little dudes running around, constantly wiping down everything. When you'd walk into the buffet, there were literally, 5 or 6 sinks with soap, like full-on water sinks.
Nice.
To do
Not
that.
just like a little hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
And then you just move on. But like wash your hands before you touch anything.
It's crazy.
Good.
Their toilets are all. I feel like I've now been in an airplane toilet because they're all really tiny.
I thought you just didn't like airplane toilets. You'd never been in an airplane toilet?
No, never been in once. I've only seen them in movies. I don't even know what they're like. No idea.
Oh, movies make them look cavernous compared to the real thing. Like, basically, I have to take off all my clothes and grease up to turn around in one of those.
Well, I still there was a moment on the Seattle home flight I thought I had to pee, but I held it and I didn't go in there, so I still don't know. I held it till I got there.
All right, I feel like there's a little streak broken right there. All right, good.
Oh, speaking of streaks broken,
yeah,
it's still international, so technically it's the same broken streak as Mexico.
Yeah, no, this is a different streak because this is I'll say why it's a different streak.
All right, so we were in international waters, and I decided to try a mojito. Wait, what's the one with?
You told me a mojito, but
I think that's right. It's the one with mint and
yes, rum
lime
mint drink. Yes.
Okay, I had one of those, and it was really good.
Yeah,
I liked it a lot. Except I don't think they put much alcohol in it. I think it just tasted like, I don't think they went.
Yeah, you didn't feel all silly afterwards.
I didn't feel anything. No, it was like, and plus I just didn't taste it. So I had a mojito. Now, Brian, why is that not still? I mean, I think it breaks an international water streak, but
whatever international. I mean, yeah, it's your first drink in international waters, but how many times you've been in international waters? You ordered it.
Yeah, I did. I ordered it.
It's not that they accidentally brought you an alcohol-laden pina colada. You requested it.
That's right. I asked for it. You're right. I said, which one of these is like a I don't know, like a zesty kind of fruity thing? And they said, oh, this one right here is real good.
I'm amazed you didn't go with like a Mai Tai or a like a rum punch or something like I guess this isn't a tropical cruise. This is like
no, but they could do all
we're going up to see some icebergs, go and poop out little icebergs.
They had a huge menu. I didn't know anything about any of it, and I'd heard of mojitos before because like in a movie, someone will, I'll just have 2 mojitos, please, and a blah blah blah. Yeah. So I just went with what I've seen on movies.
So does it feel like? Because now you've got the decision here. Do you maintain the streak within the continental United States, or isn't it just much easier to say, you know what? Maybe a glass of wine here and there. It's like that streak's. Let's just call that streak broken. It's going to be so much easier to manage.
Well, I would probably go for another mojito here on the mainland.
Yeah.
Or something like it.
Sure.
wine. I had cooking wine once. I know it's not the same. Okay, I know it's not the same, but I thought it tasted like crap. I really hated it.
Yeah.
So for
everybody
me,
hates their first taste of wine.
yeah, I don't want. I have zero interest in any of that. But I liked it. It was a nice mojito. It's nice.
Yeah, very good.
What else? I just want to give a shout out to Duval, our cruise director, Duval.
Oh, wow.
Who every morning would get on the radio thing, the big giant speaker system, through the whole ship and it would go, G to the double O-D morning to you.
Oh, my God.
Every day. Every day. And sometimes it was G to the double O-D afternoon. And sometimes it was G to the double O-D evening.
G to the double O-D, G to the single O-G-O-D.
Oh, Duval was the worst.
Good God, by the way, for everybody. Yeah. For everybody not keeping score.
He tried really hard to be funny and affable. He is no Julie. Freaking forget it. Duval, sorry, buddy. Go back to whatever. He had an assistant.
Duval needs a list of like alternatives. Hey, maybe on day one you do the G to the double O-D, and
then never do it again, ever again. He drove me crazy, that guy. But he had an assistant who was from Britain, and she had an amazing accent, so she was great. All right, the rascal butt-in. This is a real thing, and it happens all the time. If old person's on a rascal, you're in line at a buffet. The buffet was amazing, by the way. Really good food.
How do they do that in the post height of the pandemic? I'm not going to say post COVID, because guess what? We're still dealing with it. Yeah. But post height of the pandemic days, do you still get your own food, or do you say, "Ooh, I'll do some of that," and then they put it on a thing for you and hand it to you? Or
you go and just scoop it. You get your own. Yeah, okay. It's very buffet.
I guess, like you said, everybody's tested. Everybody's got their card.
Yeah, and all the workers there, all masked all day, all the time. Everybody all the way up to the captain, although I never saw him. But everybody, I saw their officers and stuff, everybody masked to the hilt. Like, they seem to be taking it really seriously there. The one thing they are doing, though, is they're going to stop the vaccine mandate as of the 6th, as of today. Oh, today.
Oh, God.
So as of today...
Oh, you got in at the right time.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad we went when we went, because, I don't know, it just made me feel less nervous about it. I didn't have to worry about it as much.
What, you're stopping the vaccine mandate? All right, well, it was nice knowing you, Princess.
Yeah, nice knowing you. See you later.
So long, Princess.
So that's... so long, Princess. Your Highness. Anyway, so there's Duval. He sucked. All right, the rascal butt-in. This is real.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You're in there. You're getting your eggs. For me, it's eggs and mushrooms. Sauteed mushrooms and eggs.
Yeah.
So I'm in there. I'm working on that in the morning. Every time, little old guy in a scooter, right in front of you. Every freaking time you're in line. I don't know why those people think they can just do that. But
walking up people don't do that, or didn't do that for you, right?
No.
It was just like it was only people who...
all rascals all the time, dude. I don't know.
They're going to get out. I'm driving a car, basically. They're going to get out of my way.
Yep. It's about some of the stops. Ketchikan, I could live there. Easy, no problem.
Yeah.
Icy Point, I could also live there. That place was a trip.
Oh, and that was your alternative, because they said no Skagit, so they took you to Icy Point.
So yeah, Skagway was shut for...
or Skagway.
What was the reason? Some kind of cave-in. Something weird happened.
Oh, well, that's bad.
Something like 1 in a 1,000-year event, and they had to change it. So that didn't happen, but I love those little towns. Those are awesome. I know they're super kitschy. That's kind of their thing, because they're the stop for these boats. I don't understand why every 3 feet there's a jewelry store.
Because
I don't get it.
Because these people I've got to impress my wife. Let's get you a ring here. Oh, we've walked 30 feet. Do you need a new ring? Okay, let's.
They all looked like they were trying to shaft me with fake stuff. Right. It felt like Tijuana. I didn't like that.
And then they'll have like and we're going to do a jewelry show this afternoon on the Lido deck and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
There is something. I wonder if there's some sort of tax break that you can get, because there's some reason that jewelry sells so well on cruise ships, and it's not just the fact that people have spent all this money on a cruise and they want to spend more money on jewelry. There is something else to that.
Something absolutely is going on there, and I can't put my finger on it, especially at the ports. I don't get why that. Like, I thought, kitschy shops with local art, and I expect that. I didn't expect to walk in there and have it be like a Zales conference. It was nuts. Oh, Zales is like sales. Sales conference, Zales conference. I like that. Anyway, so that was the thing.
Nice.
What was I going to say about... I forgot. There was something that I had a little side thing.
You were on the Lido deck, weren't you? Like
that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Room? Yeah.
Glad you brought that up. I sent this text to Brian as quick as I could get any form of internet. They put me on the Lido deck.
Probably still in Seattle.
Yeah, it probably was.
Seattle's internet access.
But when I found out I had, that's true, I used 5G until we left port. But they put us on the Lido deck, which was deck 16. Big, tall boat. 18 total floors on this thing. And the Lido deck was great because it's the traditional, here's the 2 pools, here's all these hot tubs, here's the multiple bars, and they show movies out there, and, you know, that's their big main thing. This is a serious recommendation. If you're going to go on one of these cruises, get on that deck. So my cabin is on the same deck, just deeper in.
Right. And
on the same deck is the buffet, which is enormous. They have a whole bakery in there, like this huge space. And so all of the key places I needed, deck to hang out on, pool, the hot tubs, the screen, the food, all of it on the same deck we live on. It was great.
That's so awesome. So you don't have to go up and down the stairs.
And we did that accidentally. We had no idea that was how that was going to work out. Everybody else had to deal with those elevators, which is next on my list. F those elevators. F them straight to hell. They're the worst things. Not because they're not, you know, there's enough of them. There's like 30, it felt like, tons of elevators. Okay. But they're, you know, Hilton at BlizzCon? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Stop.
And it's like you have a full elevator. I mean, obviously, there's no way for the elevator. Well, maybe there's some high-tech way that the elevator can tell that it's full. Yeah. And I'm not going to stop these floors because nobody's going to have room to get in.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. It was a freaking nightmare, those elevators. So we avoided those like the plague. You can do the stairs pretty easy, so it was no big deal. Anyway, so there's that. The ancient forests and petrified beaches of Icy Point. So good. So cool.
Wow.
Cool. Let's see. Jewelry store, as I mentioned. What else? So Mario and Luigi on Italian night. We had these 2 guys from the Philippines who were serving Kim and I at this fancy dinner. They did fancy dinners every night. You had to kind of dress up for them. You couldn't just wear hats and shit.
Nope. You gotta,
That was cool. Food was really good.
Tennis shoes or shorts, man. You gotta dress like you mean something.
So when we get in there for Italian night, this guy immediately launches into this. Hello, I am Italian. This is Italian night. I am a Mario. This is a Luigi. And he starts doing this like you can hear the, you know, his native accent underneath all of it. And he's like, you like the chicken. I bring you the chicken. And he would not stop doing this voice the entire time we're there. So I started playing to it and going, he goes, you want some more water? I said, yes, water, but just I need the Italian kind of water because it's Italian night. I kept saying. So can you bring me the Italian version? Like I was really leaning into it because if he's going to do this terrible impression for the next hour and a half,
you know, exactly.
I'm going all the way. It's really annoying. He did say that. You like to have the pepper, he said.
Well, and that's a reference. I think if Matuba's doing the old SNL skit with Adam Sandler and Rob Schneider, Kirstie Alley, where the guys bring their dates there and they're like, "Oh, you like the pepper?" And they're like, getting all.
It was like that. Now I'm starting to wonder if these 2 Filipino guys knew that skit or something.
And they started doing one of them's going to come out in a diaper in a second. And
yeah, that was really weird. Anyway, that was fun. What else? So, hey, shout out to Mario and Luigi. Lady picking at her feet and nails in the spa we paid for. So there's just this thing called the alcove or the alcove. Anyway, you pay $100 a person for all week, and you can go in there, and they got these steamer chairs and these like big hot tubby thing and massage stuff and like saunas and all that, right?
They have the little fish that eat the dead skin off your feet?
No, well, they did, but not in there. They didn't have it in there. So we go in there. Boy, she should have been in there now that you say it, because this lady, I mean, I'm no fat shaming, but she was like, she was really big.
Right, it's irrelevant.
It's relevant in this one way. It impressed me how she was able to reach down, because I can barely do this, reach down and pull her left foot almost up to where her face is. Just pulled this leg.
I could barely do it too.
Yeah, like right up here, and then
was she biting her toenails?
Just digging at it. No, I don't know what she was trying to do there, but I don't know if she ever found what she was looking for. But it grossed me out.
You pick your toes in your cabin. You don't do it.
You don't do that in a public space. Come on now.
Yeah.
Next up, we got. We're almost done here. Day 5 rough seas meant no bueno for Kim. She gets motion sick pretty easy.
And that was a full day at sea?
Yeah, full day at sea. And it happened to be a really choppy day, really foggy day.
That's the day I hit the casino, my friend.
Yeah.
I see. I let the motion of the boat turn that accidentally rolled 7 into a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We tried to do a lot of hot tubbing then because the hot tub had a way of making you forget that the boat was moving like crazy. But,
yeah, right. Probably, and who knows? The steam and stuff probably helped Kim as well, or may have.
Yeah, it definitely did. But then when we'd stop, she was like, "I'm gonna hurl. I'm gonna hurl," and I'm like, "Oh man, I don't have any of that." Apparently,
did she throw up? Did she break her international waters vomit streak?
Well, since she has no streaks, I can't say for sure. However, she vomited hardcore. She's gonna hate that I told this. Oh no! Just had the worst night because of that storm or because of that run. But for whatever reason, I don't have any of that. It was no problem. Did just fine.
That's good.
Let's see. Save $400 because we saw whales anyway.
Oh, good. You didn't have to pay for an excursion. You saw them off the cruise ship?
Yep. They wanted us to pay, $200 to go on some boat and a bus, then a boat, and go see them somewhere with no guarantee we're going to see them.
Right. Yep.
And we saw them out there. I don't know what they were doing, but they were jumping out and they're putting their tails in the air and spitting their holes and all that.
Nice.
Is that how they say it? They spit their holes? Whatever it is.
Yeah. With the big blue whales? No, what is it? They weren't the black and white little killer whales, right? They were like the
we
big
looked for them. There are killer whales out there, but these were like humpbacks and stuff, I think.
Humpbacks, that's what I was trying to think of, yeah.
Some lady, I do remember this. I'm standing by the window getting like binocular shots of these things, or as I said, burnocular until my wife couldn't stand it anymore. Anyway.
Give me them binoculars.
Whoops, I didn't mean to play that. That was weird. Anyway, so I'm out there and this lady's sitting next to me and I said, I wonder if that humpback will breach the surf. I says this to Kim, and the lady goes, humpbacks don't breach the surf. And I went, oh.
Well, actually.
Yeah, there was a moment
really?
there. It really annoyed me. It's like, shut up, lady.
No, I mean, really, they don't?
Well, all I know is the one I saw did. It popped out and went psh, and diddled tail, so unless she...
I mean, isn't breaching like when they come completely out of the water and then drop back in?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's like a full-on jump out or not. I mean, we saw them kind of roll out and roll in and then tail in the air. It was good enough for me, but it saved us $400, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Finally... And I started the conversation with this. We've been listening to this the whole time. Watched a lot of The Love Boat. I have this takeaway from The Love Boat. When I was a kid, I thought the doctor on the ship was the one that you could rely on, that was like the solid, down-to-earth guy. He's the doctor. He's trained. He's a physician. Hippocratic Oath, all that stuff.
Yeah.
No. He's a pervert wackadoo.
He was chasing, exactly. Any age, I think, with Dr. Bricker.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't care.
And he's 89 now, by the way, that actor.
Yeah, Bernie Kopell.
Bernie Kopell, still with us. All of them except for Steubing. I think he just died last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think
wow.
Gavin McLeod just passed.
Gavin McLeod, yeah.
But this guy, he's a, I mean, like, literally arrest him on your next port. He's like... That guy was horrible. He was a monster in this show. And I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all. Everybody else about what I expected. Isaac's cool. Julie's nice.
Lovable doofus.
Yeah, lovable doofus gopher. Exactly. The captain kind of, caught up in the leadership and not really paying attention to his surroundings. Kind of a goofball.
Right.
But all fine.
By the way, the only woman in that cast, she's cruise director.
Yeah.
We can't have her be captain. That'd be silly.
That'd be weird. Like that. That'd be real weird. She was great, but everybody else.
Dr. Troy of the Love Boat.
Exactly. Anyway, also, I didn't realize the final thing, the thing I didn't know about the Love Boat.
Yeah.
The Love Boat has... guest stars. That's the whole thing, right?
Sure, that's the whole thing.
The whole thing is every week it's new people coming on, and they're all coming from all the other shows. Oh, there's I don't know, Melissa Gilbert,
Falk,
Peter Falk, sure. All these people, like, come on in, be here. They're the hot hits of today's television. They're on the show.
Exactly.
What I don't remember was, and now I've seen, how many of them just kept coming back playing new people all the time. Yeah. I didn't know that. I thought it was like one-offs, but I'm seeing Pat Morita like 3 times. I'm seeing the guy that became the captain, Robert Urich from the New Wave.
Oh, right, yeah.
He came on there like 5
Charo
times.
had to be. I wonder if she has the eight different appearances and 8 different characters or something.
Billy Crystal was on there doing where he was a kissing bandit, and he just ran around the ship at night with a mask on, kissing women without them knowing. It's really weird shit, dude. That show is freaking
really, really weird.
Really weird. So I'm not saying well, my biggest takeaway is all of the acting almost entirely universally is bad.
Yeah.
Except for the episode with Dabney Coleman and Rue McClanahan. I talked about them on Film Sack a little bit. Rue McClanahan. What's her name? Rue
McClanahan.
Rue McClanahan.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They were amazing. They did Oscar-worthy performances in their little get-up. Everything else, total trash. That show is trash. But really addicting trash. We couldn't stop watching it. So
good. Well, now you know what it was like in my grandparents' house, summers of the 80s, where I was like, all right, well, I guess we got a Saturday night. I guess we got to watch Love Boat followed by Fantasy Island.
Yep, that's how it went. And you're a better man for it. All right, so there's your big fat catch up on my time on the Love Boat. It was actually a really good time. We had a blast.
It sounds like it was great. Yeah,
I needed it.
You needed it. Yeah.
I definitely needed it. There is that weird. I still have this weird feeling that the house is moving a little bit. Didn't expect that.
a little gentle rocking or something.
Yeah, it's weird. Kim too. She's like, yeah, it just feels like you're a little. I don't know. I didn't expect that. I don't know. People have said that that happens. You've been on a ship for a while, you get off, and it feels weird. But had a really, really good time.
Awesome.
And I didn't mention Jigger, which is this guy that helped us a lot, whose name was very unfortunate. Anyway,
well, if he was a bartender, it'd be perfect.
It would be. Except
hey, Jigger, how about another rum runner?
Yeah, or this guy named Milrod. He was cool.
That's an unfortunate name.
Yeah, and Ben.
What a Milrod!
Milrod. He was great though. He worked at the little pizza slice place, and it was voted best pizza at sea.
By Seagoers Weekly or whatever. Best pizza at sea.
Not the best pizza in the world, just at sea. Anyway, Brian, you were in Vegas while I was gone. How'd that go? Was it fun?
I did 3 days in Vegas just this last weekend with the real Chris Brown, my son Tristan, and Barry. And it's kind of crazy to think that 2 of the greatest hits of my stories, Barry, we go and hang out with Barry all the time when he comes out to town, and Chris Brown had never met each other, so it was the meeting of two TMS characters, so to speak.
Did they hit it off well? Were they fast friends?
They hit it off very well.
Yeah, that's great.
We would frequently line up at the bar we stayed at Luxor. It was cheap. I had free nights. We'd line up at the bar there on a row of video poker machines, and we'd be talking about music and movies and TMS and this and that, and it was just a great time.
That's good.
I hit a 4 deuces on a machine and had $250 the third. Basically arrived in Vegas, got to our hotel, went upstairs, dropped off my stuff, came back down. We sat at the bar. My third hand of cards was 4 deuces and had $250 that I basically just played on for the rest of the trip.
That's great
for gambling.
You're good at that.
Lucky at that was really
lucky. But you're good at the whole I'm up this much, so now I'm gonna figure out how to sip on this all weekend. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Most people aren't good at that. They're like, whoa, look what I did, and now they're in the hole, and oh shoot, I know I can get back my streak.
Well, now I'm gonna up my bet to $250 a hand. Oh, it's gone. All right.
It's just crazy, but that's fun though. It was real quick though. You were barely there.
Right? It was a blip. Yeah, this weekend's trip is a little bit longer, and I'm excited for that. But so first night we went out to a place called the Cabinet. This is in Bally's. This will absolutely be a TMS Vegas thing next year.
Oh.
It's Cabinet, short for the Cabinet of Curiosities, and it's a bar where the entire wall of this bar. And it's a long space, is all weird looking artifacts and this weird sculpture statue thing here, and then this interesting knife, and then this thing over here. It looks like a bunch of crystals. And what you do is on your coaster, you've got a QR code. You scan it, And then it comes to a screen where it says, enter your 4-digit number. And you go up to these things, and they've got a little card with a 4-digit number. You enter that in. It says, this came from the mountains of the Appalachians where it was discovered, da-da-da-da. Or this knife is a traditional blah, blah, blah knife. And you're sipping on your drink there. Well, one spot on this wall is a giant safe. Looks like a big, looks like the Price is Right safe crackers safe.
So a big wheel on it and stuff? Like the
big wheel on it and everything.
Yeah, love that.
And next to it is a telephone. And if you've made a reservation, you go up to that telephone when it's time for your reservation. You say, hello, I'm here for my 6:15 reservation. They say, all right, the password is 3's a crowd. Hang up. You go over to the safe, and a little window opens up on the safe when you approach it, like a little sliding whoosh, dial opens up.
Yeah.
And we go, 3's a crowd. And you hear a chunk, and then you spin the wheel, you pull open the door, and you go in to this much smaller room with a bunch of other safes on the walls. And the guy says, all right, you can either go through the big door, or you can go through the crawl space or the crawl hole. And we're like, oh, well, all of us, without even questioning it, just go, well, we'll do the crawl hole for sure. We'll do the full experience. He's like, all right, you guys are awesome. Well, the code on that door, I don't know it offhand, but I do know that the first number is somewhere up among those keys dangling from the ceiling. And you look up there, and there's like one of the keys has a big 0, 3D printed 0 as the handle. It's like, oh, is the first number 0? He's like, oh, very good. Now the next 3 numbers are, in these 3 safes, and you each have to figure out what that next number is, and you figure that out.
This is a dude hanging out with you the whole time.
There's a dude hanging out with us in this little room the whole time.
Okay.
And we get that. We go through the crawl hole, and now we're in this like old-timey wooden, everything, beautifully varnished cherry wood speakeasy. And the bartender back there, you've got again, on the coasters, you've got one side that's got the QR code for the drink menu. The flip side is a little questionnaire, four-question questionnaire, like what kind of mood are you in? What kind of vacation do you prefer? Beaches, downtown, ski slopes, etc. And your answers to those questions, you give that to the waitress, and she comes back with a custom-made drink that based on your answers to that. And we figured out, obviously, if you say beach, you're getting a rum-based drink. If you say downtown, you're getting a whiskey-based drink. Your mood determines whether it's going to be sweet or savory or bitter or sour or whatever.
Sure.
But I still had a really, really good gin and lemon. So it was really good. And I didn't have a name. I can't say, oh, let me get a blah 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 the next time I ordered a drink, but it was like a so-called custom thing. But the bartender came over, we chatted with him for a while and figured out all right, what are your algorithms that you use for those choices? And but it was great, really, really nice in there. Leather couches, we sat on a leather couch and a couple of chairs and had those. After that, we went to a place I've talked about on the show before, Super Frico, which is where all the performers from Opium at Cosmopolitan come when they're not doing their show. So in between their acts, they pop over into this place.
Just the lady, just the one, the lady with the thing. Oh my Lord!
With the big fuzzy thing with the bum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The first thing we see are a couple of ballerinas. They come in here and they're doing their like Swan Lake thing, and this happened right in front of me, basically. Like, I'm standing at the bar, we're waiting for our table, and where I'm sitting, it is maybe 2 feet in front of me is this ballerina, and they're like all of a sudden they start getting a little competitive and standing in front of each other, and they start pushing each other, and obviously it was a show, but it was happening directly in front of me that they're like pushing each other back and forth in this thing. Best chicken parmesan I've ever had, and they brought 2 for the table, 2 big ones to split, and so we just kept cutting into it.
Oh, that sounds good.
All right, what are you showing on screen that the chat room is reacting to?
I showed the lady with the eyeballs on her bum and the plunger.
No, that's not.
I know it's not. I just had to show them.
Scott, tell me the story about you can eat rice.
I wanted him to see this lady. I didn't know if you were going to tell the story.
That wasn't part of this. That was a whole different thing.
Oh, well, you can tell. You want to tell it separate? You can do it different.
I'll tell that story now.
I promise it'll still work. It didn't matter how much
to the
setup.
other side, ladies and gentlemen.
It won't matter how much setup this has. This was the weirdest thing I've ever gotten in my life from you, ever.
All right. Okay. So the next night, we go to this place called Lost Spirits Distillery.
Yeah.
And this is a rum distillery where they've taken a lot of their warehouse space and turned it into a walkthrough, sort of like a walkthrough. Look at the woman with a giant snake lounging on a chair, and over here is the scariest thing ever, and then here's a burlesque dancer. You basically just get a tasting glass and you take it around to each of these stations and try these really, really good rums, sipping rums, and then walk around this place. And there's shows going on constantly. So we walk up to this one, and there's this burlesque dancer. The woman comes out and introduces, oh, and how about some classic burlesque for you? Okay, here comes Susie, or whatever her name is. And I don't want to give too much away because there's so much cool stuff in here, but this one I'll tell you about. So this woman comes out in this nice long black dress, and to describe her very accurately as a cross between Annie Lennox and Shirley Manson from Garbage. So you kind of have a visual idea of her look. She had Annie Lennox's blonde hair, kind of that angular face, but still a little bit like Shirley Manson. Very striking, very beautiful. Big white fur coat over her black dress, and she reaches into her black dress and into the fur coat, and she pulls out a toilet plunger.
Yeah.
And she sets it on the ground. She kind of dances around for another minute or two, not taking off any clothes. Actually, she took off her white fur coat after that. And she kind of looks around. Then she looks down at the plunger, and then she looks at the audience, and she looks back down at the plunger and back at the audience. She goes over the plunger, and she picks it up, and she puts the handle between her legs like she's riding it like a broomstick. So, Of course, the front of the wooden part is sticking out directly in front of her.
Yeah.
Then and the whole time it's playing Frank Sinatra's My Way, like it's, this like, oh no, the end is near.
Yeah.
So she turns around, facing away from the audience, flips up the back of her black dress where she's got giant googly eyes on her butt, and the rubber ring, the rubber part of the plunger is basically right under those googly eyes sticking out of her butt, and she takes her hand and she makes the plunger move like it's a mouth, and it starts and then the music changes to Du Hast by Rammstein.
It's the Du Hast part that really sold it for me. Like,
yes.
I see the video when Brian sends me this text, and I went, okay, what the frick is happening? I hear audio, and I was floored. I couldn't believe it.
It's so and everybody is just, because we're thinking, oh, wow, is she going to start taking clothes off, or what's happening? Why does she have a plunger? Oh, my God, what is she going to do with that thing?
Yeah.
Thank God it wasn't what we all thought she was going to do with that thing.
That's what she wanted you to think, though, right?
That's what she
part
wanted
of the
us to
deal.
think, yeah. I think so. The whole looking back at the plunger and looking at the audience, I think it was like should I?
Well, she wanted a little bit of the old splinter business there, is what you're thinking.
So, so she turns around and does that, and Barry and I both phones out immediately like, dude, which one of us is sending this to Scott?
Yeah, I was like, how fast can you record this lady? You got pretty early. Like, she was just getting going in the song. I was impressed.
It was the second. I mean, you can't really call them verses. Du Hast, Mick, and then
yeah.
I had it out.
That's
had it
awesome.
going, but it was just so damn hilarious.
It's pretty great. I love it.
And that's why it needs the setup, you see, before
see,
you
guys
see the visuals.
Well, chat room, did I ruin it for you all, or was it okay? It was okay. They just saw this thing that made no sense, and then you
would
explained
have been funnier them seeing it after I did the description of the. Benjamin says yes.
Yes, please don't show it again. Don't want to look
spoiled.
at it.
Yes, ruined. Bombats. Yes, slightly ruined. Yes.
Yes. Nope. Ruined but saved. See, look, it's all good. Ruined but completely unwatchable. Great. Ruined. You can't trust chat. You're right about that. You stop that sentence right there. All right.
Exactly.
We're going to take a break. Let's see, what time is it? Yeah, we're going to take a break. That's what we're going to do.
Already.
And we are going to come back. When we do, Bill's back from his whirlwind trip to Dragon Con, so he'll be here. And after that, we'll talk to Bobby. We got some science coming up. So it's your Tuesday business, everybody. Coming up after this song selection that Brian will now explain. I won't spoil it, though. I'm not going to tell you what it is until he tells you.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Positive. Positive.
Ma'am, I was talking to the duck. Tell me that joke, Brian. All right.
I don't know that one.
By the way, this musical break is brought to you by Where I'm From, a brand new podcast by Bill Meeks. Well, it's not new if you were a listener of America's Next Top Podcaster, where he developed this show. And now it is a real, actual, great live or new show. His first guest is Stephen Page, formerly of Bare Naked Ladies. He's one of his favorite songwriters, so he's over the moon to talk to him about his native Scarborough, Toronto, Ontario. Get Where I'm From wherever you get your podcasts.
Nice.
All right. This song comes to us from the Triptides. Big thanks to Curation Records for getting this one over to me. Brand new album by the Triptides. It is called blah blah So Many Days. Just came out at the end of the month, and it's a great album. I actually had a hard time deciding because they didn't tell me which song to put on the show, so I had a hard time deciding. Decided to go with this one. I think you're all going to like it. The song is called Fate. Here are Triptides.
The time will begin counting down, and you'll wake up to the aroma of freshly baked bread in the morning. Now, I know it sounds silly to remind you, but if you don't push start, you'll be waking up to a cold bread pan of unmixed raw ingredients, which is a poor substitute for bread. Believe me, I've done it.
It's a big deal.
The Morning Stream. It's what's in the yogurt.
We're back. Who was that song again?
That song is Triptides with the brand new song Fate from their brand new album So Many Days.
That sounds great. Okay.
Yeah.
There was a Brian Johnson performing on the
I saw the photo you sent me. It's
Yeah.
like weird.
Yeah, if you took a photo of the both of us and morphed them, you might have gotten this guy.
You might end up with this dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I never heard him. I heard the comedian we had was bad, so I didn't go. What else was there? Oh, they had a cool magic show. They had this awesome room, paradise projection room thing.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. We were like, oh, Nerdtacular, how about here?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was like a huge space, and I'm sure it's so ridiculously priced we'd never do it. But there are some cruise lines that'd probably be a better deal, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, sure.
Something to think about.
Yep.
All right, we're back. We got
some of that Joko Cruise action. Take that.
Take some of the steam out of their cheese, you know? All right, let's see. Who's gone the show? Bill. That's who's on.
Bill.
Yeah.
Bill and Bobby Day.
Bill and Bobby Day. That's right. Bill and Bobby Day.
Bill and Bobby Day. No relation to Mikey Day.
Not that I'm aware of. All right, here's this.
Your bat cave's open there, Bill.
Joining us now, a guy who I passed literally in the night. I was in his hometown while he was in Georgia, and then he got home right after we left.
That's
and
right.
that kind of sucked because I was weirdly, secretly hoping I would somehow run into Bill. It didn't happen, but don't worry, everyone. It'll happen again. It's Bill Duran joining us from PunishPops.com, recently at DragonCon. Your big return, right, since the pandemic?
You know it, and we went hard. So I'm surprised my voice still works.
I know. You're a little rough, but not too bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was three conventions back to back.
Oh,
Not
right.
just DragonCon. I went to Emerald City Comic Con.
Right.
And that was here in Seattle, and that was just for the day. I just went for one day. I went in my Ghostbuster outfit, and just went and had a bunch of fun.
Yeah.
But then we drove to the coast with my family, and then my brother and I drove to San Jose for Silicon last weekend.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a whole to-do.
Yeah.
But Silicon was really, really good. We drove down. It was about a 13, 14-hour drive. But we drove with a ton of stuff. So my twin brother Rob has an Iron Man costume. We brought that. I brought my Ghostbuster stuff. And we brought a bunch of other props and everything to show off because I had a booth. It was a working convention.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a ton of fun. But
Sure.
I had a booth. We had books to sell. And it was a lot of work, but it was so much fun.
I'll bet. I saw a picture of you, your twin, and Adam in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
That's awesome. That's really
I got
cool.
to introduce Rob. So Rob's a huge fan of Adam. Obviously, Rob is a science teacher, and he's the coach for his high school's robotics team. So I got the chance to introduce him to Adam, which was super fun.
Yeah.
The convention itself, I'm telling you, especially if anyone's on the West Coast and they're looking for a Maker Con, or if you wanted to go to Maker Faire but they don't do it anymore, Silicon is going to be that. I can tell. Yeah.
Okay. What happened to Maker Faire? I didn't know it went away.
It went under. 2019 was the last big year. There are still some mini Maker Fairs around, but the big ones are regional. Pretty much done. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's everything's a focus there, right? Like, you know, working with resin or 3D printing or prop making and stuff like that. It is like all over the maker landscape.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And
Silicon's a lot like that.
Yeah.
They had the middle of the floor was reserved. It was like a maker area. There were tables with supplies. There were workshops that people, like right in the middle of the floor, people were making stuff. There was a stage by there with where people could put on demonstrations or workshops that people could follow along with. And there was something happening there all day, which was really, really cool. And my booth was like across from it, so I could watch it the whole time, which is incredible.
Oh yeah, no,
Very cool.
that's good.
Did you speak on any panels or do any of that?
Yeah.
Or was it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, there were some normal panels. Next year I want to do more of the more involved stuff, like they had a competition, they had an hour in a box of mystery stuff, and teams of people had to make stuff, which looked like a ton of fun. I watched a bunch of my friends doing that while I was at my booth, like, hey, I wish I had signed up for that. It looked great. We did some normal panels where like me and a bunch of people go up on stage and just talk about gluing foam together or painting.
Sure.
That was fun too, but the really involved and interactive stuff looked like a ton of fun.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. So I saw pictures. I guess this was Dragon Con though, where you and your wife were the Satisfactory cosplay that you guys finished.
Yes,
that looks so good, dude. Oh my gosh,
goodness.
It looks so good.
So Britt was home. We've been working on these costumes for the last month, and Britt was not at Silicon, so she worked on it through the weekend. When I got back from Silicon, when I drove back on last Monday, which is what I was doing 1 week ago.
Sure.
We had 2 days before we flew off for Dragon Con. So in 2 days, we finished our costumes and filmed it. We filmed it all. We'll have a video up on our costume build. But we made the Pioneers, which is the player character from Satisfactory, which you never see, of course, in the game because it's a first-person game.
You see them, if you're playing multiplayer, you'll see see other people in those costumes, and the cover has it. But you're right, you really don't see it very often.
It's like seeing Shell, like you know when you see Shell through one of your portals, even though you're Shell, right? It's
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Fortunately, I played most of Satisfactory. Brittany and I did play together, teamed up, so very familiar with the characters.
Sure.
I modeled the 3D helmets in Fusion 360. I modeled them twice because I made one custom fit for me and one custom fit for Brittany. We have different size heads. Brittany did the jumpsuits, also obviously custom fit for our bodies and everything. So
sure.
How did it work? We crossed the line on Wednesday at 7 p.m. and our flight left at 7 a.m. So we had 12 hours to spare.
Oh, wow.
Finished our costume.
For some reason, I thought you were going to be out there. Sometimes you'll extend the stay, right? Do some other stuff with friends and that, but I guess not this time, eh?
No, my mom's in town, and we're going to go see the interactive Van Gogh Museum in Seattle. Yeah. So we had to get back for that.
We drove past that, and I went, oh, that's that thing Brian talked about. And Kim's like, where? And I go, I think he saw it in Vegas. Or no, he saw it in Denver. Where'd you see it? I don't remember.
Which thing? The Van Gogh? Yeah, it was here in Denver.
Yeah,
but they have a permanent installation in Vegas at Area 15. We also went to Area 15, but
that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, we didn't go in there. I did want to see that though, pretty bad. Worth it, Bill? Or I guess you're going to go see it. You're going to tell us.
Yeah, you'll probably hear about it next week.
Okay, cool, very nice. Good. You spend time with mom. Never hurts anything. That's fantastic.
Never hurts anything.
Yeah.
So Thursday we got in a plane with our still drying costumes and flew to Dragon Con.
Yeah.
And so it was a big deal for us. 2020 Dragon Con was canceled, and they had it in 2021, but we did not go.
Yeah.
And from the accounts I heard, it was fun, but it was pretty lackluster. 2022 this year, came back swinging. Like, if other than people wearing masks, it felt just like a normal Dragon Con. The vibe was really good. The costumes were incredible. We wore new costumes. I was surprised at how many people recognized our costume. The response was always this, though. Someone would walk past us and they would go, Satisfactory? Like, they were surprised that someone would do that.
I thought they were going to accuse you guys of being like, sorry, who's the band? They just
like Daft Punk or something?
Daft Punk, yeah. I was afraid they were going to think you're Daft Punk or something like that.
I have great news. I got a video clip of me bopping my head to a couple of Daft Punk costumers in my costume. So don't worry, that happens, Scott.
Okay, good. I'm not alone in seeing the similarities then. That's great, though. I mean, if you're ever going to be in a place where people are going to recognize your weird choice for cosplay, it's going to be Dragon Con, right?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the response was great. We went out in our costume every day for a little bit. The helmets had fans in them and lights. And it was actually quite comfortable. And the helmets have just a big old visor on the front. You can't see our face at all. And pretty good visibility from the inside as well. So it was kind of cool to like chill out and someone would come by and snap a photo. But you just kind of people watch from inside your little hermetically sealed head spaceship. And it was a lot of fun. It was really fun to just kind of be chill, and my head was cool and observe.
Let me ask you this question. I see a close up on your helmet that you put kind of this beehive texture pattern in it.
Yeah.
Did that obscure view at all, or no problem?
Not really. Just a tiny bit. That's just vinyl, clear vinyl that I cut on the vinyl cutter and then stretched over the visor. And I love the look. It looked really cool.
It looks really, that's an awesome add to that.
God, that looks so good.
Yeah, and the detail on your like front little respirator bits and the screws in that's just awesome.
Oh yeah, real screws. The helmets actually have holes in the cheek and the chin for venting. Yeah. And I put a stainless steel mesh over it. It looks just like it came out of the game, but it also provided a ton of airflow.
Yeah, that's great.
Like I also wore when I was out and about without a costume, I had my hat on, just a normal hat. And that hat was so sweaty and so gross. It was hotter to wear a cap than it was to wear these helmets.
Oh, weird.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That hat's for your stink bag. You got to put that in that bag.
Right. Yeah.
Take a picture of this hat. I've had it for years and it's getting really gross.
You should keep it for as long as you can.
I got to 3D scan it for posterity before it falls apart. That's what I'll do.
Here it was Amy in the chat, who was also there, says it was really freaking hot this year. Was it hot outside? I guess it would.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. Well, I only left the building once. I had to meet friends for dinner once, so I left the building, and it was actually pouring rain when we left.
Oh.
But other than that, no, there were some spots where it was getting pretty warm. We had to, in costume, you got to wander around and find out where the airflow is, and then say, we're going to go hang out over in the hallway by the droids for a while. Yeah, that hallway was really cool.
Wow. Well, I'm impressed as always. It looks amazing, and it probably felt real good to be back in full swing like that. It
felt incredible.
Yeah. Seeing the the view up the sides of the inside of the hotel where it's like that the big meeting space, the big lounge space. It's like, yes, it's like, it's been easily 8 years, 10 years for me. Holy
wow. Oh, it's been a bit. Yeah. You guys really fit into that look. This photo I'm looking at right now looks like you're in space.
Yeah.
You're at some space station.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And I got some shots. I really wanted to get the atrium there reflected in the visor. So we ran around with our costumes, but we also filmed a bunch of ourselves in our costumes for our video.
Yeah.
So we'll have, like I said, we'll have a build video out on these costumes soon, and it's going to end with just a ton of Dragon Con footage.
That Zelda Guardian costume is amazing. Oh my god, that's
really good.
Technically, someone could get into it, so technically it's a costume, but that was
right. It's really just a Guardian.
Yeah, it's like an 8-foot tall functional Guardian.
There's no little footholes in the bottom. You can just walk around.
No. There was someone, however, who portrayed the death of Jaime Lannister at the masquerade.
Oh, no way.
That costume was literally just a pile of bricks with a golden hand sticking out of it.
Oh, that's great.
It was magical.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, tons of that. It's Dragon Con, tons of that going on.
Sure.
Came out swinging. It felt just as good as it did in 2019, the last time we went.
Awesome.
I saw tons of friends, lots of fans, just very validating.
Oh yeah, it's always good to have that.
I'm feeling out of this and feeling like $1 million.
Yeah, that never hurts. Well, I'm glad, dude. Some rejuvenation all around here on TMS for everybody. And I can't wait for the videos to show the builds on these. That should be awesome. Tell people where they should be looking for all this stuff, and I usually do it, but why don't you tell people where the home of Punished Props is?
That's right, punishedprops.com, where we've got all of our videos and stuff to buy, and then of course YouTube, Punished Props Academy. And we'll have a new video for these coming out very soon.
Nice. Cool. Bonus link this week from our old pal Bill.
Oh, yeah. Video for that tested shot over at Silicon of my friend Beverly Downen and her Dune still suit. That looks incredible.
Wow.
Oh, geez.
All mostly foam. Beverly does a ton of stuff in foam. She's awesome. We saw her at Silicon and at DragonCon, and her amazing husband Brett, who's a photographer, and I'll share it. I probably tweeted it at some point. He got just the best photo of us in our new costumes.
That's great.
Oh, Wally! That Wally was at I got to play with that Wally. And
did you?
He's my new best friend.
He's your new pal.
Yeah, I love him. I need to make one.
How? Boy, that seems like a big build, doesn't it? Seems like a lot of work. Yeah,
I think a few years.
Worth it. I'm counting on it. I'm counting on you, Bill. Make a Wally. That's what we're asking.
All right.
It's Bill Duran, everybody. Punishedprops.com is the place to go. Bill, have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
See you, Bill.
Bye. Almost made him group leader again. They put that button closer than it used to be.
Here, take the wheel.
Yeah, take the wheel.
Take the wheel, Bill.
Take the wheel, Jesus. All right, we got, speaking of Jesus, we got a Jesus-looking dude.
Jesus.
Yeah, he looks just like him, so why not? Let's play this right here.
Science.
Hey, it's science. A little science with our old pal Bobby Frankenberger joining us today from South Carolina. Hello, Bobby.
How are you?
Good, man. How are you? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm fixing
it's
what's
a little blown out right now. You look
now.
like you're on the under the McDonald's heat lamp. Is what you look like.
That's
There we go.
Good old Logitech and their refusal to remember.
They do like to change things when you're not looking. I hate that. It's annoying.
G-Hub.
G-Hub is the worst. It's almost spyware at this point. Anyway, hey, Bobby, it's great to have you back. Always happy to have you on. We talk about science with Bobby. He's got a podcast all about science called All Around Science. And we'll talk more about that toward the end. But what do you got brewing today? What do you got going on over there?
I thought I'd talk about a couple of things that are on my mind and things that I'm prepping for to talk about. First off, how you're a cruister now, huh?
I am a cruister. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a Rascal and by the way, they have you keep those medallions I mentioned earlier, so that the idea is that if you go on another cruise with Princess, you just take your medallion and it's all set to go. You don't have to do anything, and you just get in there again. I think it's a really interesting sort of customer loyalty sort of trick because they are very convenient. Sure. There were even places on shore. So if you usually have like a little bit of a slush fund as part of your package, like you can spend $100 on shore or whatever.
Yeah.
And a lot of those stores, including tons of the stupid jewelry places, all take the medallion for payment. So if you go in there and you go, yeah, here's my medallion, they can actually scan it on shore and say, oh, you've got $100 credit on this, and this is $60. You now have 40 in change. And I'll just do it with your medallion, never even take your wallet out. Which I just thought was nuts, but it seems like an interesting way to keep people, loyal to your program, but also it felt a little creepy, like I was getting watched.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they have you keep those bands so you can continue getting watched.
Yeah.
Looks like
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I've got that thing right now. It's supposed to be just near field communication, but I don't know. Maybe it's like an Apple AirTag
or yeah.
Which, by the way,
partnered with other services.
Quick side note: I got AirTags for our bags because I heard that was a good way to track your stuff. And I'm always paranoid about bags, so we got some, and they're great. They're super simple, easy. I can see why people like them so much. However, at one point I had them in 4 bags, and at one point 3 bags said they were with us in Seattle when we got home when we landed. And it said one was still up in Canada, in Victoria, Canada.
Oh, no, really? So it hadn't updated the location?
Yeah, which I thought meant, oh, well, I've got 5G again. This should be accurate. Oh, no, they've left a bag in Canada somehow.
Yeah.
But then about a minute later, it snapped, and it was here. So it was fine.
I've got one in my car, one in my bike, and then one in each of our suitcases. But the one in my car, every once in a while I'll look at my phone and it'll say, Brian's soul is no longer near you.
Oh, you lose your soul, man. You
I
can't
lost my soul. Yeah.
Your soul, man. You lost your white guy pretending to be black. Oh. Anyway, Bill, let's get to the science.
Bobby.
Or Bobby. I said Bill again. Bobby, hey, I've been gone for a week. Give me a break.
You guys all look the same.
Yeah, you all look the same to me. Anyway, sorry. Something scientific's going on. You're here to tell us. What is it?
Well, first of all, you guys heard that the new COVID booster is out now, right?
I did hear that.
The Omicron one. Yeah, Omicron specific.
BA5.
Yeah, if you remember, not too long ago, I talked with you guys about how they delayed because the two of you got the booster, and then right after you guys got it, they said, we're not going to give it to anybody else.
Right. Not until new cherry flavor comes out. And
exactly.
Then we're going to bring it out. Yeah.
Exactly. So the new cherry flavor finally did come out, and it includes vaccines updated for the current BA.4 and 5 subvariants. So go out to your pharmacy and get them. I know that I'm not going to mention. I'm not trying to promote any pharmacy here, but my wife's pharmacy. I know she told me that that they have them. They already have them. They're giving them out. So
they're already doing them. Okay. We were told next week they start here locally, but I had to have 2 months between the last booster and this one. Before
same here.
Yeah, exactly. So that's actually one of the reasons why they wanted to wait, is because they figured, it's confused. They wanted to minimize the confusion with the instructions about who can get them when and all this kind of stuff. So I think if they had been able to plan a little bit further ahead, then they would have probably waited altogether, and you wouldn't have even gotten those boosters. You probably would have had to wait as well.
Sure.
Because
conceptually,
they would prefer.
Sure. Conceptually, the whole idea of an updated booster sounds like software. I feel like we got a patch. Like, are there patch notes? Do we know what changed? Do they buff something? Did they nerf something? Like, what do we actually know?
Login screen, COVID login screen now shorter.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Well,
I
mean, all they really did was change the mRNA strain, because they custom make those strains, right? Like they test the viruses, figure out what the protein looks like that they want to target, and then they make an mRNA. They design an mRNA strain that they're going to manufacture and put inside the vaccines, and that's what they did. That's the difference, is that this includes the one that just came out includes the ancestral strain, which is the original COVID, and it also includes the Omicron BA.4 and 5 subvariants. So
okay, that's good.
That's the difference. Which is good, because those are basically all there are going around right now.
Right. That's the infected thing. So what if? I mean, I can only assume this virus has been pretty, it's pretty good at doing its dance, and other variants are on the way, because that's what those things do. We just talking. This is just the new norm, where every 6 months or something, they patch. They patch the thing, and we get a new version. That's kind of it, right? That's our new lives. That's what we do.
Yep. And I think I've said before that the way that they're figuring out how to rapidly make updated viruses for COVID is hopefully going to, and it's almost certainly going to, impact how the flu virus is made as well. So we may see, and we're probably going to see, better targeted flu vaccines. So less flu going around, hopefully, because
there's kind of a shotgun approach to flu still, right? Like the way they do it.
It's kind of like a shotgun, but it's like a shotgun where you kind of you blindfold yourself, spin around 3 times, and someone tells you where to aim the gun.
Oh man, that's terrible.
Like describes it verbally to you. And then you hope that you're going to hit it. That's kind of our approach to the flu right now. But it's a shotgun, so you kind of hit it.
So from a scientific standpoint, can we call COVID endemic now? Is that word apply yet?
Yeah, I think most experts have been have been talking about it being endemic for quite a while, and I think I don't know that I've heard anybody officially say it, you know, but like pronouncing it officially, but I think it's pretty much. I've been telling people that it's endemic. So,
in Bobby's circles, it's endemic.
Yeah. So if my authority is pretty high on this stuff, so I figure you might as well consider it endemic. This isn't going away.
Yeah.
It's here to stay.
I mean, part of me's like, whatever. We're gonna have all sorts of retrospect 2020 stuff going on in the next few years about this and how it kind of came on a little suddenly. We had to scramble. Some cool technology that had been being worked on for a long time got pushed faster so that it could happen quicker, so we could get vaccines with this mRNA stuff and all that. Do you think it's fair to say that that it's, how do I put this? In some weird ways, I feel glad that it was like global and bad so that we could start getting ahead of this a little bit. And then now you're talking about flu vaccines will have a better effectiveness because of it. Like I don't want to diminish the loss of life.
But a silver lining that has come from these things is a better awareness of other.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. Because it's easy to get so caught up in the aftermath of it, you know?
Yeah, I think I know what you're saying. And I think if I'm to put a finer point on it, to say that this could have been COVID. It could have been a different virus, and the virus could have been a lot worse. It could have been an incredibly deadly virus that spread really. Like, we got kind of the best version of a global pandemic at this stage in our history that we could have, and more pandemics are going to come. So to get this one. To start with, I say to start with, and pandemics have happened before, but you know what I mean, like modern day situation, and they've happened recently. But this one, to get this one that was going to really boost the technology that we have for dealing with it, this was probably one of the best case scenarios we could have had. So yeah, I think that we're lucky in that regard, and it fortunately. We did get some incredible technological advances out of it. I mean, it goes to show you how when we're facing a universally indiscriminate existential threat,
we band together a bit.
A lot of people can come together to figure out how to make things better pretty quickly.
Yeah,
and that's what we did. And took advantage of a lot of technology that's been being worked on for a long time. Funding was able to get redirected to make it so that those things that had been being worked on were able to put to good use. And so it was, yeah.
So do you think now,
if you're looking for a silver lining, then that's it. Yeah.
So now looking forward, if, we'll fake a scenario here. Guys visiting Brazil, can't wait to go see the giant Jesus statue or whatever. He's down there hanging out, doing his thing, and then falls asleep one night, decides he's kind of roughing it. He's in some sort of, Airbnb hut somewhere, and some strange tree insect crawls up his butt and dies. And when it does, it transfers the first tree insect or stick insect to man virus. And now he's got, oh shit, we've got the stick up your ass virus. Oh no. To have everything we've done, does that put us in a better place when another one of these things pops, however it comes, that we can go, okay, instead of scrambling and pre-approving and freaking out and everything, we can say, no, all right, we've got a method to the madness. This is viral. We have the technology. Here's your vaccine thing, send it to the manufacturers, bam, they've got it, bam, your CVS has it, bam, it's in your arm. Like, do you think we're just better prepared for that now, or no?
So okay, the optimistic answer to your question, which I probably would have given a few months ago, is we were put through the past 2+ years, we were put through the ringer and taught how we need to deal with this better next time, right? Like, what we learned a lot of what not to do. There are a lot of experts that have documented what not to do because that's what we did, are the wrong things, and now we've refined our processes and we know what not to do. That's the optimistic answer to your question. The cynical answer to your question is, well, we haven't been handling monkeypox very well.
Yeah, right.
And we should have learned from COVID how to handle monkeypox.
From a society perspective, having the COVID pandemic and the vaccines has kind of identified a bunch of different subgroups within our society. And we didn't have that before. We've been able to say, okay, here are the people that, care about making sure that if they get it, symptoms are mild, they don't spread it as easily, blah, blah, blah. And we didn't have that 4 years ago. We now have a sector of society that is like, yeah, this is going to be a problem. Great. Give me the vaccine. I'm okay with it. I'll do it. I trust you, etc. So from that standpoint alone, I feel like we're in a better place. I mean, we obviously, we kind of knew we had stubborn dickheads in the society before. Right. We didn't need the pandemic to identify them, but now we do have people who are saying, okay, yeah, this can happen at any time. As we saw, we lost an entire year because of it. I'm ready for it. If there's something else that comes out, get me on the first line for a way to prevent it from spreading.
Yeah, I think there's some optimism to be had there. The one thing that really threw me on the ship while I was gone was I did see 2 or 3 people. The socialism distancing one, whatever, you can interpret it different ways. But there were people with shirts on and hats that were very much anti-vax, which was hilarious to me because they have to show proof of vaccination to get on the ship. So it's not like they're I don't know how to describe it. It was like this weird... Well, I gotta get on my 7-day buffet run, but I wouldn't do it if this was their one reason why they would get vaccinated.
Their feet are firmly planted, but not that firmly.
No,
they've taken a stand, but they might also sit for a little bit instead of keeping that stand.
And I should say of 3,500 people, it was like 3 people. So I should, exactly. I don't want to lump anyone into anything, but it was one of those moments where I was like, well, yeah, but you're here, and you're here because you got vaccinated, and I'm glad you did because you're probably not going to get me sick. Oh, I did get a thing on my phone today. Hold on. Check this out.
Alert! You were around selfish dickheads in the last 7 days.
Alert! You were around 3,500 people in close proximity who all report having COVID.
I can't find it now. Where do you find that?
If you go to your health app on your Apple, it should be.
Oh,
it should be at the top if
it
it's
would be there, right? That would be the right app.
Yeah. It'll be.
Highlights.
It'll be right at the top of your health details or notifications or whatever.
Ah, crap. I don't see it. Well, anyway,
it
basically
that's a good sign.
Says sometime in the last 7 days, you were near someone who has now tested positive for COVID. And that makes perfect sense to me. We are in crowded freaking loading, unloading, ship all week, and then, flights to and from and all that. But I'm pretty sure. I don't know why. Just got this feeling. I'm still going to get tested in 3 days like they suggest and all that.
Yeah.
I have this feeling that we skirted it, man, that I missed it. I dodged those bullets. Once again, Brian and I, the only 2 people left on the planet. No COVID.
That's right.
I still haven't gotten it.
The triple bubble here, right here.
That's right. I forgot, Bobby. You have not partaken either.
And my daughter had it, and nobody else in the family had got it.
Frankengibbet.
Yeah,
still holding together.
That's a requirement to be on the show on Thursdays after Bill.
That's right.
Tuesdays.
Or Tuesdays, but you're close.
Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking about Thursdays.
No, part of the requirement is forgetting what day it is. So you're good. You're all good.
Right.
Speaking of which, real quick here, Bobby will be joining me again on Thursday while Brian's traveling to guest host that day. So we're excited to have you back, man. How will it feel for you to jump from segment to full hosting capability in just 2 days? How does that feel?
I was born ready for it.
Are you doing? Make sure you do your stretches. It's not, oh, Brian, tell me about the Indian in the Middle song. Oh, what's a cover? It's like, oh no, you got to do your stretches. I stay up the whole night before studying what I'm going to be saying. So good luck.
I've been running drills.
Drills, yes, exactly.
Yeah, we memorize all our notes.
Getting ready for when someone tries to remember a name to just start spouting out random names.
Yes.
Well, then you're perfect for this job. Well done. So look forward to Thursday. We'll have Bobby here co-hosting the entire morning, and it'll be a windy day, so no pressure. Everything will be fine. That's it. Hey, Bobby, tell people about what's going on All Around Science this week. You got any cool topics you're covering? Probably this, I assume.
We might mention, we'll certainly mention the COVID booster on the show, but the episode that just came out yesterday, the main feature, we talked about fatbergs. You ever heard of fatbergs?
I think I saw a lot of them in the last 7 days, but go on.
Floating fat islands in the ocean that might bump into the giant plastic island, right?
They're bunch of when oil and grease all come together in your sewers.
Yeah.
Gigantic sewers. There are some that are the size of double-decker buses.
Jeez.
Aren't they a
and
lot
bigger?
Of like,
we're so horrible to this planet.
I know,
My
we're
God.
not,
it's
not
like
good.
we're treating it like an Airbnb.
Yeah. But don't they? They're one of the big problems. Or what I heard was if you're flushing, for people who are flushing wet wipes.
Yeah,
those things act as like an adhesive and just keep it all together, man.
On the show, on the audio only show, we did a visual demonstration of we took a toilet paper in one cup of water and a wipe in another cup, and we tried to describe it as best we could. We had some live people watching that, so that's why we did it. But yeah, it's surprisingly flushable wipes are not as flushable as they claim that they are.
I'm gonna blame those man ball wipe things that are all the rage
the dude
right
wipes.
now.
Yeah,
the dude wipes.
Yeah,
those are.
Listen, you want to stop this? Start putting bidets in your hotels, America.
That's right.
Problem solved.
That's right.
Yeah,
I did notice this is a weird toilet thing in the ship. You're in. There's like tons of public bathrooms all up and down the ship, right? And I was in the ship. I get it. You're in a ship, or you're in one of these bathrooms, and they have like a whole wall of urinals. One guy flushes, they all flush at the same time. The way it's
like
piped.
Christmas lights in there.
Yeah, because it's the kind of it's that whole thing. It's not like a normal toilet. So so if you're standing there and you got a good long pee, you might witness 2-3 flushes before you walk away. Just the way it works.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah. Kind of bugged me a little bit.
They should synchronize. Like, all right, are we all good? We all ready? 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
The only one that made me nervous was one time I flushed it in our tiny bathroom that you get in your cabin, and it made the water in the shower go on for just a second. And I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that at all.
Plumbing is weird on a cruise ship.
It is indeed. But man, that thing, I'll tell you what, when a ship's that new and only had, I don't know, a handful of voyages, it's so clean. None of that rust you get from just ancient pieces of parts and stuff. Oh, there were parts of this thing. Like you'd be in the mezzanine, this beautiful like hotel space, forgetting you're even on a boat. But if you accidentally went through like a crew entrance or something, it looked like Die Hard in there. Like everything's painted white, lots of stuff sticking out. It was like a science fiction movie.
Glass all over the ground.
You're looking for Bill Clay
looking for Bill Clay.
Those detonators. Yeah.
Kill the Amish guy, hang him, and then shoot him again later because he didn't die. Oh man. Anyway,
you know
Bill,
what? Before I go real fast, you know what I think about cruises? Cruises are part of this like very narrow category of like vacation experiences where it's like Disney World's similar. It's these types of vacations that have lots of like rules and processes and procedures involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you do one for the first time, you suddenly feel like the world's expert at doing them.
Yeah.
And you want to just anybody you hear who's going on a cruise, you want to like tell them all about it. You're like, okay, so you've never gone.
It drives me
this
nuts.
is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to
circumvent this.
Yeah. It drives me a little crazy. I promise not to be that person to anyone else. I'm not going to do it.
I do that for Vegas all the time. Somebody says, hey, I'm going to Vegas. Like, all right, well, here's the restaurants you want to check out or things like that. But I'll say, all right, when you're going into the Vidara, make sure you go on the back entrance, because if you go on the front entrance, you're going to get hit by 18 sales.
Well, to your credit, you typically get asked advice and then you'll give it, right?
I do it right. I don't just blatantly say, by the way, I heard you're going to Vegas. Here's what you got to do. You got to make sure you get the. Yeah.
That's a very different kind of
yes.
thing. I hate that. It drives me crazy. But anyway, cruises. Oh, I did one other thing. Totally forgot to mention this. There was a false announcement of a man overboard in one of the ports.
Oh gosh.
Oh geez.
So we hear this lady get on the thing. Gong, and
sorry,
she goes,
he's right here. Sorry.
She goes, man overboard, something, and they start scrambling, and people are freaking out, and then she goes, sorry, false alarm, no man overboard, go about your day. So
I wonder why they tell all the all of you that there's like, is there something you can do about it?
I think it's just
make sure you've got all your men with you.
Yeah, but make sure it's not
okay.
your
I've only
man
got
who's
8
overboard.
men, I had 9.
Oh, it's not me. It's not me. Okay,
Yeah, it's not me. But they had these boats like on the dock there, the kind of like cop boats. I don't know. They look like police boats. And they were like starting to fire up and they were getting all excited. And Kim and I were over on the shore and we're like, what is going on over there? And we heard the lady and then we heard the apology and we're like, oh, okay. And then we just kind of kept stealing rocks and shells from the from the shore.
Did you take a hotel from the cruise ship?
No.
I mean a hotel. A towel?
We took an entire hotel. Yeah. We got
Did you take a hotel? Did you take a towel?
No. So
you wanted to though, didn't you?
yeah, because I have we've talked about it on the show.
It's another streak.
There's a weird streak, not even a streak, but this thing I used to do where I would be like, well, I'm taking this little hand towel because I paid $300 for this hotel room. And I had this kind of attitude about it, right? But for some reason, it didn't feel right here. Couldn't do it. Don't know why. Maybe they do have RFID on all their towels. I don't know. But I just had this feeling of like, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Don't forget to take a hotel.
Yeah. They had, by the way, so this is hilarious to me. The ship, you couldn't have any weed on, right? They had signs everywhere about no drugs of any kind, including marijuana or cannabis. And yet every single Alaska port had cannabis cells, cannabis stores. Sure. And the Canada one was full of them. They had tons of them. So any of those places you could go was totally legal, including Seattle, where we birthed from. So I couldn't ever quite get my head around, well, why? What's the problem? You're on international waters. I don't think this matters. Just let everybody
you
have
could
their
probably
weed.
smuggle gummies or something, little gummy bears or Mike Tyson ears or something.
Yeah, you could probably do that. But they I don't know. They had this hardcore rule. And if you're coming offshore, they even had a big sign that said, if you bought any cannabis while on shore, you'll be stopped and sent to local authorities or whatever. And I'm like, the local authorities, it's legal here. You can have it here. I couldn't figure that out. But then again, they were really old people. They probably had cards anyway. They're getting all the weed they need.
Sure.
Anyway, Bobby, the pleasure is ours. And it'll be ours again when you're here Thursday. Thanks for being on. It's always good to have you,
Thanks for having me.
Look, we'll do it again if you're nice. We'll have you back.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Bobby Frankenberger, everybody. Have a fantastic time. And I can't find a way to hang up on you. Why? Okay, there he goes. Bye now. Bye. Jeez. I've forgotten all my buttons, Brian. Forgotten them all.
I know. It's hard. It's tough coming back.
Not easy. All right. A couple of quick things. Play Retro today, 3:30 Mountain Time. We're back at it. Missed a week. We're back. Me and Brian Dunaway. We're talking about Age of Empires today and its significant impact on PC gaming of years past and where it's all come to today. So check that out. Play Retro today, 3:30 Mountain Time, right here at frogpants.tv or the podcast. Quick email before we leave. Scooby Dad wrote in, says, Dear S&B. Sorry, I couldn't think of a clever opening, he says.
Wow.
About your
that much of a hurry to write us that you can't even take a minute to think of like an S&B thing.
That lady's plunger is a clever opening, by the way, I would say. Anyway, about your recent discussion regarding circles and roundabouts. I think they're the same thing, just regional names, like subs, heroes, grinders, and hoagies. I've attached a photo of a now removed traffic circle in Ashbury Park, New Jersey. I didn't include it here. You can imagine how much fun it was to navigate. It was pretty wacky. So that's a good point. So maybe this is like soda and pop or, whatever.
Could regional. Be, yeah. I mean, I thought there was something about the differences that we found. Because there was a website that said it was like either you're going straight at it and turn into it, or you do the curve onto it or something. Like we found a website that showed the differences between roundabouts and traffic circles, but
yeah,
maybe not. I mean, it's on the internet. It doesn't necessarily mean it's true, right?
It's true, but we did some pretty good research, I thought.
But man, changing a regular intersection to a roundabout feels like a much easier transition than taking out a roundabout where you've expected one and turning it into just a regular intersection.
I agree. That would throw me.
Oh my God.
That would, I don't even want to think about what people are, how dumb people are going to be for the next 2 weeks. They're already dumb enough with the original thing that's sitting there. How do I expect that to get any better? It's not going to. All right. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we got all our Wednesday business. So be back for that. We'll be back with Tom and recommendals and all that stuff. Very exciting. That will be tomorrow.
Did you watch a lot of? I mean, are you going to recommend Love Boat? I hope not. I hope you got something else.
No, it will not be the Love Boat. Probably going to recommend a movie I saw on the boat though.
Cool.
Yeah, I had a really good time. They showed Dune on the deck one night. That was really cool. It's like
interesting, and that's where you can like sit in the pool and watch it, right?
Yeah,
Float in the pool, and that's so cool.
Yeah, we were in the hot tub for that, but it was
nice.
It was awesome. I liked the little public hot tubs because once you got in, it was a pretty good chance nobody was going to join you, and say, "Hey, you got room for us?" Like that never happened. So,
good. Yeah. No, stay the heck out.
It was nice. Plus, it was kind of cold on deck, so felt like we kind of had the Lido deck to ourselves. It was nice.
Cool.
Thanks for the email, Scooby Dad. If you want to be like him, send your emails to themorningstream@gmail.com. A quick patron mention. We got a brand new patron named Mindy Allen who just joined the show as a patron the last couple of days. Hey, Mindy, thanks for being awesome and joining us.
Yay.
It's a brand new month. Perfect time to jump on. She did, so could you. Check it out at patreon.com/TMS. And if
say hi to Mork for us.
Yeah, say hi. I get it. Mindy Allen. That wasn't her. Wait, was that her real name? That wasn't her name.
Mindy McConnell was her the character name.
That's another show.
That's required knowledge being this close to Boulder, though, so it's okay. It's all right that you didn't know.
That's true.
By the way, Pam Dauber, guest star on The Love Boat, on any of the episodes you saw?
None that I saw, but I'll bet she was on there. She had to have been, right?
I bet she was, yeah.
There was Eddie Albert was in a kind of a fun one.
Oh, sure, yeah.
The Green Acres dude. I mean, most of these people are dead.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're pulling from...
And I forgot.
Jim Neighbors. Jim Neighbors?
Absolutely, Jim Neighbors was on one. The guy that played, not Mr. Furley, that would have been Don Knotts, although I'm sure he did too.
Right, Mr. Roper,
Mr.
which
Roper
was Norman Fell.
Yes, Norman Fell was on there. Good call. Yeah. I can never remember his name.
Listen, if we ever want to do a trivia thing where it's named this 70s actor by the character they played, I might actually have a wheelhouse.
You probably do, okay. The guy who was the pilot in Airplane was on there.
Robert Hayes.
Look at you, dude. This is amazing. We might have to do that. I might come up with a little pre-show.
This might be a little fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. I haven't done the Stump Brian in a while. We'll give that a shot. All right. I talked to Daryl while I was out there. Did you know he's going to attempt to build a complete replica of the season 3 Orville ship?
Oh, really?
And apparently it's hard as hell because they got like
so many swooping curves and stuff like that.
I don't know how you'd even do it. Like why? Oh, what a job!
Good for him. That's a great. He's now the Orville nerd. He's no longer he's been burned too many times by Trek. He's.
I think he's the Orville nerd now. You're right.
Yeah.
Time to change your Twitter account again, there, bud.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for the show. We're out of here. Again, like we said, back tomorrow and other cool stuff in between. Brian will play us a song now, though, so we can go. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to be heading to this guy's neck of the woods here in a couple days. Tom Robinson from Orange County says, "Good morning, gentlemen. As I request each year at this time, I want to wish Jessica a very happy birthday. As friends go..."
Got it early.
She is awesome. And as it works out, the last 3 times we've been able to see each other, it's been at TMS Vegas. I would like to request Eye in the Sky by Awol Nation before Cameron Chamberlain does. And Scott, I don't know if I should be to blame or take the credit for requesting sound bites in their requests. But as I do, I usually request play a random film sack clip and try to guess the movie. He might have been the first to ever request that.
Yeah. I'm actually, so this is great timing because I started to, and I'm not done with it yet, but I started to, when I can figure it out, separate old film sack clips that I've kept from the main ones that we do for the show so that I know where they came from. And so this will be even better. So, all right. So here's a random one.
Film sack clip that... Yeah.
Here's a random one. Let's see if we got what we need. Here we go.
Zeus's butthole.
Oh, that is Vampire's Kiss, Nicolas Cage.
Was it Zeus's or wait?
The Kiss of the Vampire?
Yeah, what's that one where he's like so bad? Oh.
A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P.
Yeah, I think that's the one. He's got, pissed blood, and he yells the same in everything he's in. So
he does, yeah.
All right, well, there you go. Random clip. And from now on, when you ask for these, dude, I'll have them at the ready. So there you go.
Oh, Winmagus is right. That was from The Rock. It's a cageism, but it's not that cageism.
Oh, well, I have a longer version. Let's see what it says.
How, in the name of Zeus's butthole, did you get out of your cell?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, Connery's in there saying, "You ever F the prom queen?" and all that. That's the moment. All right.
You ever lose your prom queen? You ever F your car keys?
I knew that was coming, but I wasn't ready. Sorry. All right. So where were we? I don't know. A song. You're playing a song.
Tom Robinson wants to hear Eye in the Sky by Awol Nation. They're joined by Beck. This is from their brand new cover album, which is called My Echo, My Shadow, My Covers, and Me. It is such a great cover album, Awol Nation. A lot of great guest stars on this thing, too. Here they are covering Alan Parsons, much to Hammond Chamberlain's wishes. The song is Eye in the Sky.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
On the top, they're high.